Hello lovely people, we are back on Angel Wings Holistics for an energy update. It is Boxing Day here in the UK, and is it Boxing Day in Canada? Do you have that over there? Is that a thing? Someone tell me in the comments. I know it's not a thing in the States and you're probably all back at work, and I'm sorry. Most people don't work here on the 26th of December because it is a bank holiday. It is our Boxing Day. No relation to actual boxing. I'm just going to get the sand off my desk where I brought my new sensor shells in. They brought a little bit of extra with them as well. So, alrighty. So we're going to have a look at today's energy. I've been given the nudge to do some videos for you today. I'm also going to be doing a video for my second channel, Cosmic Dragon Tarot. Make sure you follow that if you haven't already. Where I have 3 of these little Hello Kitty mystery toys to open, and we're going to have a pick a mystery toy. There's 3 to pick from. I don't know what they are either because I haven't opened them, so that's going to be a fun reading. Okay, so let's take a look at the energy at the moment. I really enjoyed doing the advent calendar over on Cosmic Dragon. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. I will try to remember to link to it above. But the advent calendar, basically I had a crystal advent calendar which is now defunct, which I opened every day, and there was a crystal which are all lined up here still. I haven't decided what to do with them all yet because there's so many of them. They'll probably go in my, I've got a lovely wooden carved dish in the shape of a big heart. They'll probably go in my crystal dish with all of the others. There was one we couldn't identify, which I think we worked out was, we worked out what it was in the end. It was crazy. Right. Okay. This was our mystery crystal. It took us a while to work out what that one was. I had to do it by process of elimination. Okay. Let's see what the energy is doing today. And for this week, see what's happening. Big shifts, big changes coming in for lots of people. It's an important time. It's actually happening sooner than I expected, the shifts. Goddess of the Moon. Yes, we're being guided by intuition, guided by spirit. Led forwards faster than expected. I think led forwards faster than expected. I'm just going to pull these off camera in case they need any sensor shells. All tied up. Yes. Patience. Interesting. I'm going to keep shuffling. Feels like our intuition's been about 10 steps ahead of us, ahead of 3D reality, and that may have been very frustrating, may have made us feel like things weren't happening for us when they actually were, but that was part of the journey. Oh, daughter romance, interesting. Yeah. There's definitely things shifting and changing here for us. On the bottom, got Angel of Balance, and the interesting thing is that's on number 48, which is completion of karmic contract. So everything had to stay in balance. Karmic contracts had to be finished off correctly before we could move in. I'm very drawn to this turquoise colour. You'll see the topaz ring I'm wearing today, which is one I got for Christmas. Well, I chose for Christmas. Yeah, I'm very drawn to this colour at the moment, and you may be too, possibly, which is why I always have the turquoise crystals on my desk as well. Okay, Goddess of the Moon. Wow. The Divine Feminine's really coming into force now, really coming into lead. I've said this for a while now, haven't I? If you've been listening to my energy updates over on Cosmic Dragon, which I've now moved over onto this channel. But we may have been feeling stuck, like we couldn't move, like we could only think about what we wanted. On 23, you guys know I'm a numerologist, 23/5, the Icarus mind. We've been thinking about it. We've been planning for the future, visualizing the future, imagining what it would be like, visioning the future, visioning it into reality. But it is taking time. With the Patience card here, the reminder that things come in divine timing. And some things are also reliant on collective divine timing too, which is why we may not have been able to move forwards in personal ways as fast as we were expecting to. Maybe as fast as our readings told us we would, or that our guides telling we should be able to. You know, you may have had this sense of, I should be doing this by now. I'm sure I should have been, this should have been happening by now. And there's this sense of almost being out of phase, energetically being slightly off, out of time, but not out of time as in running out of time as in ahead of where actual time is at the moment, which can be very frustrating. So that will have been difficult to hold our visions, but that's what we're being asked to do. Hold the vision, hold the clarity of what it is that you want to move forwards to, that you are manifesting in your life, because this is all part of the journey. Even the bit where you stop and rest and wait for everyone else to catch up is still part of the journey. You're still on the path. You don't leave the path unless you choose to leave the path. Stay on the path. It is just a case of waiting for others to catch up, and that could be society wide, it could be things happening on the planet, you know, on a, I want to talk on a planetary international scale. People, I want to talk about the world's own karma, her growth as well. It's all having to happen synchronistically, it's all happening synergistically. It's what I'm seeing is like little birds holding onto threads, pulling something along. There's a whole bunch of like tiny little birds all holding onto threads, pulling along this huge planet, the Earth, pulling her along very gently. And it's like, it's another thread. That word's come up recently, hasn't it? Thread. That I've heard that on other videos, which is interesting. Other readers that I watch, spiritual guides that I watch. I feel like those of us who have been doing the energy work here on the planet at the moment, we're not only helping the other people, we're actually helping Gaia herself, the Earth herself. Because we focus very much, or we have focused, I think, very much on leading others forward, helping them to leave karmic situations behind, to leave old karma behind, to clear ancestral karma, to clear collective karma, to clear societal karma for your country, for your area, for people in general, for women in general, for men in general. And it feels like now we've reached the point where we're actually clearing the karma for the planet, her karma that she needs us to help her with as well. That's why it's taking time. That's why the journey is taking time. But here you are, look, shining your topaz coloured light for everyone else to follow. Okay. So I actually predicted seismic activity, I think, at the beginning of this year. And we have seen that. And I think I mentioned that is part of the Earth's own energy shifts, her own clearing that's happening at the moment, and she is going to have some bigger clearings moving forwards as well. I don't think they will be as violent, to be honest. I feel like she's done that bit. Just tuning into the energy there to see what else wants to come through, because it's interesting. I'm very kind of dropping into the energy of the Patience card. It's a very calm energy at the moment. It's a very gentle energy that we're in, almost as if we are covered with a blanket of snow. And certainly the ground is not covered with a blanket of snow where I am right now. Despite the media warning us, oh, it's going to be a polar disaster. Oh, it's going to be the coldest winter since records began. When is it not the coldest winter since records began, or the hottest summer since records began, according to the idiot mainstream media? I mean, it just makes stuff up. It's infuriating. Okay. But Patience, it does feel like there's this very gentle, kind of twinkly energy at the moment, which I'm really liking. And I could feel it when I was out on the beach on Studland on Christmas Eve, if you saw that video over on Cosmic Dragon. And I was wading in the water in my Wellingtons. Nice alliteration on the W there, Helen. Thank you. Wading in the water in my Wellingtons, having a wonderful time. And I was thinking to myself, look at me, I'm winter paddling. Because I was paddling, but in my wellies, I was having a lovely time. And I saw a baby place, the little flat fish, who must have clocked me at the last minute and then, I would say legged it, but it doesn't have legs, does it? Just suddenly went, swam away as fast as it could when it saw me. But the water was very, very shallow. So it was very nice to walk around in with the stones and the sand. Our beaches in this part of the world tend to be sandy. Not all of them are, but we do have some nice sandy beaches. They're not very big, obviously, because it's not a very big country. But I was raised next to sandy beaches. I was born next to sandy beaches, so I resonate very strongly with them. Resonate very strongly with the sea. I always have done. I was born next to the sea. Okay. Something big's brewing here, though. Something big is waiting to be let out of its cage. And with 33.6, this is the heart, but it could also be the higher heart I want to talk about. So 33.6, the Christ consciousness, 6 being the heart, the sacred chalice. That's what we've been asked to wait for. We've been asked to wait for the collective hearts to be ready for the next phase, for our hearts, for other people's hearts to be ready, strong enough, dedicated enough is the word I get. Interesting. Look at this stripy bench. There's like a stool here with a stripy top. I'm very drawn to the stripy stool. I don't know why. I kind of get like a Alice's Adventures in Wonderland Cheshire Cat vibe off this stool for some reason. Isn't that odd? That's a connection for somebody. But look, there's the little heart in its cage, and there's the key right there. The doors have opened. The heart is actually outside the cage. It was never in the cage at all, because look, the cage, bars of the cage are not in front of it. But it is the lock. But what's actually in the cage at all? Nothing's in it. The heart was the key all along. And I love this kind of heart-shaped confetti, which is like rose petals. Very beautiful. I think there are changes coming in our romantic life, where that's relevant. But it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's our relationships to each other on the wider world stage, which are changing, evolving. There is such a need right now for more genuine compassion for fellow man, woman. Just saw 12:21 on the clock as I said that, which is a beautiful mirrored number sequence, 12:24. Interesting as well, because on the 24th of December I was talking about the 2412 numerology, that gorgeous balanced number sequence. Seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel, bringing peace and wisdom. Wow. Connecting us to the higher realms. So many higher level soulmate relationships are due to start next year. I'm going to say that again, many higher level soulmate relationships are due to start next year. Beautiful. Again, there's almost like this icy quality to this card, isn't there? Like, we've been waiting for this. Look at her looking off into the distance. We've been waiting for this. 41.5. The individual leading the individual leading the physical world. Yes, that which we have manifested is coming into play. Finally, that which we have manifested coming into our physicality, into our physical reality, through the crown chakra as well. Beautiful. Garden and the gate. Yes, it's time to leave, or it will be soon time to leave that which is known, this lovely, very safe, cultivated garden, and go out across these fields that maybe appear to be empty and barren at first and slightly misty, and we don't know what's out there. And we could stay in this very pretty little garden, but it's very restrictive. Very restrictive. And look, she has the key to the gate around her neck. And she's wearing this beautiful pink dress of the unconditional love of the higher heart. And these little white butterflies want to lead her, want to show her the way. She's being led by intuition. She knows it's time to leave the garden. She stood there basically waiting, plucking up the courage, I would say, to leave the garden. We're going to get one more of these, then we're going to go to the Toracle deck. You might have already noticed here in the corner of the screen. Oh, That's hilarious. That's the card that was on the bottom. I just shuffled them and it came out again. I looked at the bottom of the deck and I was like, no, I'm not going to get that one. We've already seen it. But apparently I was going to get that one. I lied. Apparently I did get that one. Everything coming into balance. New karmic contracts being signed. New soul agreements coming into play. Big change. Lifetimes connected with ancient Egypt, with the Egyptian mystery schools. I noticed the moon up here as well, with the goddess of the moon. It's all being led by the divine feminine now. It's like the divine masculine just is not in control anymore, just is not leading right now. But that's okay, because the divine masculine can be a good follower to the divine feminine when the divine feminine is in her feminine power. When she's trying to act like the masculine, that's a terrible time for her to lead. That's just when everything goes wrong. But when she is in her power as the divine feminine, that is the moment for her to lead the divine masculine. And it's absolutely beautiful to see these energies coming into balance. The yin and yang, the divine feminine and masculine energies coming into balance, because that is what they have to do at this time. Which means more cohesion, literally, between men and women, between the female and masculine aspects of ourselves, because we all carry both energies. We can't not. We are these dualistic beings living in this realm of duality. And that kind of is the point of this reality, isn't it? I mean, we're here to experience what the 3D experience has to offer us, which is very challenging at times. And I've heard it said that the souls that choose to come here are very brave. I would also say stupid, but including myself in that. It's like the number of times I've said, what was my soul thinking? It's like, seriously, what were you guys thinking? Bring me here again. But it's okay, it is what it is. But we are moving into, I want to say, a wiser time. Gentler time, where things will start to settle down a little bit in their own ways. Of course, there's still going to be turbulence in the world. Of course there is. I'm not saying we're going to have world peace tomorrow. Wouldn't that be nice? We're not ready for that. Well, some of us are, but most aren't. We're not quite ready for that yet. But we are ready to see the genuine compassion start to show up through some individuals. And it will be through individuals. Genuine compassion for other people, not this fake performative compassion where we want to act a certain way to virtue signal. Oh, look at how great I am. I'm saying this thing, therefore I'm better than you. No, that's being banished now. And if you continue down that route with the fake compassion, with the virtue signaling that you don't really mean, that's not going to take you in a good direction right now. That's going to go badly wrong. Okay. That will be exposed for what it is more and more. I mean, it already has been. Performative compassion. Makes me shudder. We're going to move on to this deck now, which is the Art of Intuitive Alchemy Toracle. Yes, Toracle. It's a cross between a tarot deck and an oracle deck. The Symbolic Language of Self-Discovery by my good friend Jules Rain, which is lovely. I love working with this deck. I always promote it for her because she's an amazing artist and this is all her own unique artwork. This is a self-published deck and I would love it if you guys would support her as well. The link to this deck is it's available on Etsy. It is in the description box below, so check it out if that resonates. I love working with this deck because it's such a deep deck to get into. You can go so deep into these cards. Oh, the theme of the ocean coming out. Oh, we've got 2 ocean cards. Look at that. I love it. The bottom of the deck, we've got spring, so we're going to keep spring here with us as well. Oh, I love it. I've been feeling very strongly the pull to the sea. I wouldn't say to the ocean because I don't live by the ocean. I live by the sea. AC. I live by the English Channel. Yeah. It is that deep connection that we hold to others that does make us limitless. It's that remembrance of who we truly are, that we are all connected, that we are all one, that we are ultimately limitless beings. It is only our ego mind that makes us believe we are separate. Our society makes us believe we are separate from one another, from God, goddess, and we are not. And I like how we had the goddess of the moon in the last spread, and now we've got the sun coming through very strongly here. So it's that beautiful synergy, that beautiful balance between the sun and the moon right now, working for us with their gorgeous energies, reminding us that the divine masculine can be gentle but also very powerful, reminding us that we can manifest that which we envision, that we desire, that we feel. Look at the word feeling on here on the feeling card. That which we feel is that which we will manifest. If we feel hard done by, we will manifest more of that, or more reasons to feel hard done by. If we feel guilty, we will manifest more reason to feel guilty. If we choose to feel positive and empowered, guess what happens? And I'm not talking about toxic positivity here, because I can't stand that. That's terrible. We have to feel all of our feelings. But it's what we choose to focus on. That's what matters. What we choose to make our baseline. Because our baseline feelings very often are not the ones that we've chosen. I've just realised this one's a 33 card as well. We've just had 33. Oh my goodness, that's so cheeky. Really moving into our spiritual power, but really moving into our soul's mission right now. We are really moving into soul mission times, where we're moving up energetically a few more levels. I love the oceans of love and oceans of peace. That's gorgeous. That is what the world needs right now. I'm very drawn to the seas, the emotions, I nearly said. I wanted to say oceans, and emotions came out of my mouth instead. I love how my guides do that. Putting words in my mouth. Always fun. So the emotion oceans would be very positive or healing to spend time next to the sea, next to the ocean, next to bodies of water, if that's something you have access to. Or if you don't, I don't know, watch a YouTube video of the ocean. Come and watch me when I go down the beach. There's something about hoop earrings here. There's something about hoop earrings here which is important to somebody. I'm just very drawn to these circles here, and I was like, there's something about hoop earrings. I know they're not supposed to be hoop earrings on this drawing, but something about hoop earrings being a connection to the spiritual path. So whoever that's for, watch out for that one. I think that's probably a very specific message for somebody here. It was an urchin. Little urchin. This cute little fish and starfish. I think there will be a lot of ocean symbolism next year. I think that's what we're going to see in 2025, the ocean symbolism showing up a lot. The sun and moon symbolism showing up a lot. And I think that could show up on your path as like a spiritual marker, as like a signpost to say, right, this way, that's the decision. And it could show up quite randomly. You know that messages from spirit can show up completely randomly. It can be a song you hear over and over again on the radio. Every time you switch it on, it's the same song with these same specific words here that are like telling you a message, like it's a personal message for you. It could be something you see on a billboard at a moment. It could be, this has happened to me before. I walked into a shop. I kept getting the words that I needed to step out of my comfort zone. I kept being told that. And I went to Australia. I walked into a shop. I picked up a card, a greetings card, and it said, the best discoveries are made outside of your comfort zone. And I went, oh, fuck off. I went halfway around the world and the message was still there. And I laughed. I didn't buy the card. I put it back, but I was laughing so hard because I was like, oh, come on. So it wasn't just, you know, in my country that particular message was showing up. No, the message was showing up for me wherever I went. And that's what you find when your spirit guides are really trying to get through to you. Because sometimes it can be difficult when we're not paying attention, when we're not listening, or when we're doubting what we're seeing, we're doubting the messages we're getting, we're doubting our ability to interpret what we're seeing. And I think that's something for us to work on this year, to actually work on our intuition, to work on seeing things correctly, sensing things correctly, and not overruling our intuition when it steps in, no longer overruling with the conscious mind, the ego mind, because the ego mind ain't that bright. The ego mind is not very clever. It is a computer. It only knows what it has been programmed with since we were born. And many of the things it was programmed with are completely wrong or very unhelpful. Okay, it learned what it heard. It learned what it was told. It learned that money didn't grow on trees, that I wants don't get. Things like that. Really unhelpful statements that we've internalized and that we think are our beliefs, but they're actually just computer programs running in our ego mind. They're utterly meaningless. And a lot of the time useless or harmful. So intuition, feeling, overruling, overriding the tyrant of the ego mind. I do have a book recommendation for you all. I got this one out the other day, didn't I? I think it was on one of the Advent calendar readings. Women Who Run with the Wolves, not just for women. But it's the myths and stories of the wild woman archetype, and it does talk about how we have been disconnected from our intuition, and it talks about the powerful symbolism in the stories, about how we're supposed to develop our intuition and grow, particularly as women. Now, I still haven't managed to finish this book. I'm at page 320. Because every time I read a chapter or a section of it, it's like I've just had a huge spiritual revelation and I have to stop. This isn't a book that I've been able to just read cover to cover. This has been a journey. We had the journey card earlier. For me, this book is a journey and I still haven't finished it. But I don't have any particular desire to rush the journey, whatever. I don't have any desire to rush the journey. I pick it up as and when I feel the need. I probably will pick it up again and read the next chapter, which is called Clear Water, Nourishing the Creative Life. Look. Oh, look, it's the ocean. It's water. Look at that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this chapter. And then what normally happens is I find personally that this book, the effect it has on me, and there are other books that have similar effects, like the works of Barbara Hand Clow, might have that effect for you, like Eye of the Centaur, Pleiadian Agenda, these books. This one in particular will do that to you, and there are others in the series by Barbara Hand Clow. But it's like you read one section of it, and it takes you on a whole spiritual journey, opens up a whole aspect of yourself ready for healing. You heal some karma, you clear some energetic blockages, you learn some deep lessons, stuff starts happening in your life, and then you have to wait for it to clear. You might go into healing crisis, you might have some strange things happen. I always end up talking to Chrissy when that happens. And then you integrate this new lesson. And that seems to be how it works in our reality at the moment, because we don't have the storytellers, we don't have the wise women or the elders to pass on these messages, these important spiritual stories to the younger generations of women and men. We don't have that. We've lost that, and we are starved for it. We are starved for those stories that were to guide us. So intuition now coming in to bridge that gap. Interesting. Very drawn to the spirals here as well. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what the planet Uranus is doing in 2025, but I would say keep an eye on it, because I feel like it's going to do some crazy stuff. So we've got Uranian energy coming in, which means surprises, which means Aquarius energy, shocking surprises, unexpected things happening. We may be making sudden and unexpected decisions as well, but because we remember we are limitless, and guess what? We're most likely going to be successful if we genuinely follow those feelings, genuinely follow those sparks of intuition leading us forwards. It's going to be a very transformative year, but we stay under the sun the whole time, under the influence of the sun, the positive, loving, powerful, protective, successful energy of the sun. It's like the ocean under the sun. Literally, the oceans down here are under the sun card. Just move this so you can actually see the names on the cards there. There we go. So, interesting stuff coming in. I'm just going to pop these away and get a different deck out because I just want to see what other messages our guides, helpers, angels have for us today. Which cards are we going to? I know the deck I want. I don't see it. Where have I put it? This is always an interesting one, playing Find the Pack of Cards in Helen's office, because there's like 100 packs in here in various different locations. They're all piled up. Oh, there they are. There they are. Daily guidance from your angels. Very drawn to this deck. I don't use this one very often, but I just want to bring this one out. Okay. Let's get a little message, little angel message. Oops. Okay. 3 angel messages apparently. Now I was going to take the top card, so I shall take it as well. And it says ask. Ask us to help you in this situation and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. The reminder here is to ask for help when you need it. Very important. Angels cannot intervene if you do not ask them because they cannot violate your free will under universal law. They are not allowed to. Okay. Also a reminder to help, to ask when you need help. Ask when you need help at work. Ask your friends when you need their help and support. Don't expect people to just magically know. Okay. And the same in like your romantic relationships with your partner. Don't expect them to just know what you want. And this could have been an issue around Christmas, around the holidays, because I've seen this so many times and it's a very immature, very emotionally immature thing that I see, pattern, I guess. And I recognise it in myself. For a long, long time ago, I used to have this same belief that, oh, well, you should just know what I need. You should just know what I want. I shouldn't have to tell you. That's incredibly emotionally immature. The only time in your life that you shouldn't have to ask for what you need or express what your needs are is when you're a small child. When you're a baby, you don't have to ask to get your needs met. They will magically be met because that's your parents' job. Just seen 32:23 on the clock. Gorgeous numerology. So you must ask when you need help, when you need support. So we are governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. So angels are always ready there. They're always ready to step in. I have actually had a very quick response from angels before when I was struggling. I was living on my own in a little studio flat. There was no one else there. I didn't really have any neighbours to speak of. My landlord lived above me. It was a converted garage. And I was on my own in the flat and I was eating some food and I started to choke. And I started to choke really badly. I was choking on my food and I was like, oh no, this is really bad. I can't clear it. I'm a first aider, so I was recognising what was happening and I was like, oh no, oh, this is bad. I need someone to help me. I need, and I could feel the air emptying out of my lungs and I couldn't get any more back in. And I went, angels help. And quick as a flash, that piece of food was gone. I don't know where it went, but it was gone. The blockage was cleared instantly. I was so grateful because I was like, do I have to throw myself in a chair and try and Heimlich maneuver myself? I was like, oh, all these things going through my head, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to die. There's no one here to help me. But anyway, yeah, the angels stepped in immediately as soon as I asked them to. Like, it was instantaneous and it was so astonishing because I don't know where that piece of food went, but it was gone. It was gone from my throat. It just was not there anymore. It was incredible divine intervention, but I had to ask for the help. So there are other times in our life where our life is literally in danger and they will step in without you asking, but these are very specific life and death situations where it's not your time to go. I chose to ask for help in that situation and boy did I get it, and I was so grateful. It was such an amazing was an amazing experience as well, because I was so frightened and so scared, and I was really concerned what was going to happen. So, perfect timing. Oh, here we go with the timing theme. Isn't that interesting? Lovely green energy of the heart chakra, Archangel Michael. Now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. Yes, yes, it is going to be. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Yes, don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. Isn't that a wonderful belief to hold? I would encourage you to believe that. You'll know when it's divine timing. You'll know when it's the moment to act. And when you do act, you know, with that perfect trust, knowing that your guides, your angels, your ancestors, your loved ones, God, Goddess are there with you, that it's safe to walk through the door with them. Opportunity to forgive. This situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. See, this is what I was talking about, true compassion coming through. There's this lovely turquoisey colour that I was talking about. It's going to be an interesting year. Very, very interesting. Helping people to come together rather than being divided down silly, ridiculous lines of slightly different political parties that want to manipulate people in slightly different ways. I mean, there's barely a cigarette paper between them. But no. Anyway, rant over. Innocence. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. Yes, a lot of the anger that we see from people, a lot of the judgment we see from people is projected anger and judgment about ourselves. Things that we judge ourselves unfairly for, that we've been judged unfairly for in the past. It's a reminder that we don't need to carry all these burdens anymore. We don't need to carry these burdens of guilt, heaviness, anger, blaming. Maybe we stop blaming people. Maybe we stop looking to blame, playing the blame game. I've seen it so many times in the workplace, and I honestly refuse to do it. I'm like, I will not be a part in the blame game. You can get lost with that. I don't do that. One more off the bottom. Oh, go on then. Ground yourself. Yes, good advice. When you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, oh, isn't it just? Your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. There's that balance coming in there between the spiritual and the physical, the arcane and the mundane. That's what we're working towards this next year. This is what we're going to see starting to manifest, the balance between the spiritual and the 3D physical earth as we move into the 5D energies anyway. And it's gorgeous. There is no separation. And you may actually be very drawn to work with the earth, work with the soil, to grow flowers, to grow food. That could be something you're planning to do or hoping to do. There's definitely a nudge to do that. It can be as simple as growing a sack of potatoes. And I do mean growing a sack because you can grow them in sacks with compost. You just fill a sack with compost and you put the potatoes in there with the fertilizer, and they'll grow very nicely in sacks. I've grown very lovely potatoes in sacks before. You don't even need a garden to do that. You know, you can literally do that on like a patio or a terrace or even in a parking space if you have to. Probably wouldn't do it indoors. It's probably too warm, but there's definitely a connection to the divine through nature, through earth, through butterflies. butterflies of transformation coming in and depicting all the different colours of the chakras here as well. So it does feel like, and she's got the turquoise dress on again, there's that colour again. It does feel like being able to speak higher spiritual truths, understanding and speaking from a higher spiritual standpoint, which is never judgmental, which is always going to see, you know, you are the perfect child of God. You are the divine incarnate. And when someone speaks to you with judgment or unkindness, it's not true, but it may be a reflection of what you believe about yourself, or what an aspect of you believes about yourself, but it's not true. And we're letting go of those beliefs now. Letting go of toxic people as well. But it's a reminder that getting rid of the people isn't enough. You have to clear the belief in yourself as well, or they will continue to show up. That's the kicker. That's the kick up the backside I just heard. Okay, guys. Alrighty. So I will leave it there. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope this resonated for some of you out there. Please remember to leave me a comment and let me know which parts it resonated, which parts you liked. I will be doing my pick a card video on Cosmic Dragon later on today, so do look out for that. But in the meantime, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. You take very, very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.